So we're going to read this about Thailand. I have it open somewhere else. Going to look, so I'm going to start to open all kind of stuff because I'm going to read it later in the future. No, I got it open. There, all these countries I got open. India, China, and United States. We have it open. Everything is open here. Going to read it later. So that's Thailand. They have a very large automotive industry, and probably pay a lot of money to the Thailand state and government. They're getting a large tax income from automobile, all kind of car taxes. They have an eco car program. So they have a lot of links. I'm not going to open that now because the video's not about that. I'm just looking every country in the whole world one by one. Some minutes. And Turkey have a very large automobile industry. 1.5 million. So they're super large. They're one of the largest automotive industry manufacturers in the whole world. But the Turkey is very big. They have a lot of very large population. And I'm going to read it later. So they have an old Ford and adult. But Turkey, they make battle tanks, they're making combat drones and all kind of weapons. They're making main battle tanks. Minibus. So they have a long list of manufacturers. We're going to open all this. So we look at this later. So Turkey is very, very large automotive industry, one of the largest in the world. Then Uzbekistan. Says before 1992, Uzbekistan has absolutely no automotive industry, being part of the Soviet Union. So they make Uzbekistan is in Central Asia. So they not say how many cars they make, but you can find it. Just look Uzbekistan down there. Actually, that's many cars. more than 400,000. So that's really many. That's more than Taiwan. Taiwan is only 275,000. That's more than Sweden and Taiwan. So they make a lot of cars. Uzbekistan, they're very large automotive. That's my car video, but we have copyright. Volkswagen, but that's the biggest automotive plant in the world, but not by production, I think. In physical size, the Hyundai Ulsan factory in South Korea, I think they make 1.4 million, 1.6 million cars every year. So Uzbekistan is very large. They're making like maybe soon 500,000. Then Vietnam next to Thailand in East Asia. So they have a large automotive industry in Vietnam. So all current produced models are designed abroad by foreign brands, and many rely on knockdown kit production. Knockdown kits. I did not open this, but that's all kind of car parts. All kind of automobile parts you import, and then you put it together and make a car. That was Vietnam. Oh, that's one high import tax on automobiles. We had to read about the import tax, tariff or import tax. We have to read about this. When we read about the United States, I got the Thailand open. Now we have this tariff war, the United States-China tariff war. No, I think we got it down here. Tariff. But we can just keep it here. Tariff in second Trump administration. China, United States, trade war. We need to read this. And what tariff is, that's like import tax on automobiles. But my country Denmark have much more import tax or tariff than 83. Well, you have to pay like 200% tax. If you buy a car, $300, $300,000 in my country Denmark, you pay $200,000 is in car tax. That's close to 200%. I think my country Denmark have one of the highest tariff in the whole world. Will they maybe not have a list of tariff by countries? Switzerland. List of countries by tariff rates. I have 0. Denmark. But they're not on cars. Let's close this. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the tariff. That's Vietnam. So Vietnam have a large automotive industry. How many? I don't know. We can look at Vietnam. Oh, that's 175,000. They have a large. So now we go getting to Europe. Europe, of course, that's Germany. Germany, the big German brand, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, BMW, Porsche, Volkswagen. And Spain, Seat. And Italy, of course, Italy like Fiat, Lamborghini, Ferrari. And France, of course, France, all this Citroën, Peugeot, Renault. And United Kingdom is a very large automobile, and of course Sweden, Volvo. The Saab brand is not anymore. I think the Saab brand is closed. They're not making Saab cars anymore. But now we have this tariff war or import tax wars between United States and the whole world. And Europe and China, we have this trade war. United States and China. And maybe they were expanding. We have some peace talk today. It's Friday today. The American President Donald Trump and the Russian President Putin will meet in Alaska today and discuss the war in Ukraine. Maybe make some kind of peace deal. But if the Russia reject to make kind of peace deal today, they will, the President Trump and United States will add some large tariff or import tax to Russia, and countries working with Russia like India. India buy a lot of oil from Russia and resell. They're buying Russian oil and gas maybe and resell on the world market. So then maybe we have some more new tariff next week. So maybe I think something will happen with the global numbers of sales number of the cars. No, the numbers of by country. I think the number of sold cars. But that's production. The car production in the United States will drop, I think. I think the car production in the world will drop this year, next year, because of this tariff war. Because all this German brand, they cannot sell the same number of cars in the United States with a high tariff. And many they don't like to buy American cars because they're tired of United States and Donald Trump and Tesla, Elon Musk. So they buy another brand like China. They buy the Chinese brand like BYD. They're making a lot of nice cars in China. So that but just buy some Chinese electric cars. But I've not read this yet, but he changed his mind every year. He's changed his tariff every week. So that Europe have a very large automobile industry or automotive industry because of Germany, Italy, France, Spain, United Kingdom, Sweden. So that's Austria. Austria is in the Alps, south of Germany. We have the Austrian Alps, the Swiss Alps, and the France Alp mountains. So Opel making cars in Austria, Belarus. We call it white Russia in my language, Danish. Probably they make some kind of Russian kind of cars, trucks for military and mining. They make this probably, but that's probably Russia have designed this. I don't think you have some Belarus brand. So Belarus, no, that's Belarusian automotive product, but then making mining stuff. They actually have this Belas is a Belarusian automobile plant. So they're making all this kind of stuff. Probably they make military trucks. So they do for the mining industry. Big mining trucks for coal and minerals. For mining. Belgium and the Chinese car manufacturer Geely. They make Geely and Geely-based cars. Belgium, Belarusian, Geely, that's why they call Geely. Belarusian and Geely. They make it, but they're probably making nice cars. Because we have to look this later. This Geely. So you don't have to buy a Tesla. You have many very nice electric cars from China, like Geely and BRD and Xpeng and other brand. They're making some nice looking cars. They look very modern. Look like a taxi, electric taxi maybe, minivan. So this look really nice. They're designing some really nice cars in China. Like this one is a good looking car. So they look very modern, like Western cars. This one is looking nice. Everyone looks nice. But look at this later. That's the Lotus. Looking at Greeley later, I have not read it yet. I need to read it. So actually I have this Belarusian China. Belarusian China automobile manufacturing plant. They're probably making electric cars for the Russian market, making buses, city buses for public transports. But let's close Belarus, because Belarus is not really not part of Europe. They're part of Russia. Russia is Belarus and Russia is like, this is where when they're invading Ukraine 3 years ago, they were invading from Belarus. Belarus is north of Ukraine. So the Russians have a big military exercise in south of Belarus. Got Kiev, and then they're invading Kiev from north, from Belarus. So actually kind of Belarus is kind of Russia. But that's very close. Belarus is very close to Warsaw, Poland, and the Baltic states. So the Russia probably a lot of military, just close to borders to everything. So we have this American-Russian peace talks later today in Alaska, in the United States, about the war in Ukraine. Maybe Donald Trump and Putin can make kind of a peace deal with Ukraine. But Ukraine is not at the table. They're not part of the peace talk. So Ukraine will probably not accept a peace deal, because they're not part of the negotiation today. They're part of the talk today. So the automotive industry is very connected to global politics. So global politics and global economic crisis and energy crisis and wars, of course. If we have a big war in Europe, the same number of new cars will drop a lot in Europe, of course. Because people will stop buying new cars because they will like to save their money. They will save that money on the bank account for food and bills, and not borrow a lot of money to new cars. I have to look my cell phone again. I got that reply from my family member. So that's Belgium. Belgium is close to Netherlands and close to my country. It's not far away from my country. You can drive there like 1 day in a car. Long day, like 10-12 hours in a car. Like 1,000 kilometers. Belgium. I've never been there. No, that's my countries up here. That's Denmark. That's Belgium down here. So that's like less 1,000 kilometers. It says how many, but you can find. Look at Belgium. But now it's even the number 32, so they're making 240,000 automobiles, so that's making 250,000. They make a little bit less Sweden, so they make a lot of automobiles. Now we are Bulgaria, but now the sun shines even more. I think the temperature got a little bit up more to like 30. Bulgaria have a very large automotive industry, one of the biggest in Europe, but I not remember. No, they don't have that. They have only number 50. But that was Slovenia or Czechia. So they don't have a large automotive industry. In Bulgaria. But I think I like to stop today because it's very hot today. So next is Croatia, but let's do it like tomorrow because it's getting hotter and hotter. The sun is burning down. If you go and feel this concrete, it will be very hot on the feet. I think it's even hotter now, like 30. The temp now is 30, yes, I can feel it. It got up to 30 degrees. So I think I like to stop because it's too hot to make video. But I'm not sweating at all. I just feel a little hot. But now it's at 2 p.m. The sun will get down in like 8 p.m. 8 p.m. From 7 p.m. the sun start go down. In 4 hours. In 4 hours the sun will start go down. So I just relax, drinking a lot of water and watching. I think I watched this car factory video, this Wolfsburg video. I will continue watch. Just try it again tomorrow. We can do a bit more automobile video tomorrow. But not if it's 30 degrees in my living room. So maybe we have to wait till the weather changes. But I don't like because there could be like many weeks. It will be hot every day next many weeks. So we cannot do that.